In July 2021, Google announced the first version of stable Jetpack Compose, which is Android's modern UI toolkit to build better apps faster. Jetpack Compose has made creating the native Android UIs an absolute breeze. So if you'd like to learn that how do we do that, stay until the end of this video where we will discover exactly that. Let's start by the first and most important question. Why do we need Jetpack Compose in the first place? The first benefit that Jetpack Compose provides us is that it uses less code and it is Kotlin first. It's much easier to trace through code when all of it is written in the same language and often the same file rather than jumping back and forth between Kotlin and XML. Being Kotlin first has its own benefit, not only in the amount of code that is reduced, but also in the maintainability and review of the project. For much larger legacy projects, this affects even more. Having two different sets of codes that are Java and Kotlin becomes cumbersome for large projects to maintain and review. Having the entire code base into a single set affects the maintainability of the code by a lot. The second benefit that Jetpack Compose provides us is its intuitiveness. Jetpack Compose is much more intuitive than XML. The code in Jetpack Compose feels much more natural when compared to the XML code. With Compose, you build small, stateless components that are not tied to a specific activity or fragment. That makes them easy to reuse and test. In Compose, state is explicit and passed to the composable. That way, there's only one single source of truth for the state, making it encapsulated and decoupled. The third benefit that Jetpack Compose provides us is its interoperability with the existing Android system. Compose is interoperable with all our existing code. It makes it much easier to implement Jetpack Compose into our existing projects. One of the added benefits of Jetpack Compose is that since it is interoperable, we can also create custom views in Jetpack Compose and then simply use them in our XML projects. Since creating custom views in XML projects was not as easy as Jetpack Compose has made that. Hey guys, just a quick pause here. Just want to tell you that if you're interested in learning about the advanced concepts of Jetpack Compose, such as creating our own animations, views, layouts, and all those little intricate details, do check out my course. The link will be in the description box down below. The fourth benefit that Jetpack Compose provides us is its integration with the Jetpack libraries. Using the Jetpack libraries are considered best practices for Android. Jetpack Compose, being a part of the Jetpack libraries, integrates pretty well with all of them. The fifth benefit that Jetpack Compose provides us is its multi-platform support. Compose, unlike XML, is not only limited to creating the UIs for Android only. We can use Compose to create true multi-platform native apps using the same UI library. Applications for desktop and browser apps for Android are supported using declarative APIs. JVM uses Kotlin and Jetpack Compose browser uses the Kotlin JS. The sixth and most important point that Jetpack Compose provides us is the improved performance, improved build times, and reduced APK sizes. Google confirmed that it saves time and gives better performance than other Android view systems. Some notable Android mobile applications were tested by Google to confirm how powerful Jetpack Compose is and the benefits it would bring to the business market. If you'd like to learn more about the performance differences in detail, I'll link to an article in the description box below where you can find more details about it. Now that we are aware of the benefits that Jetpack Compose provides us, let us head onto the screen and see how do we set up the project. So to start a new Compose project, first thing you need to do is download the latest Android Studio. Once that is done, you can either select the empty Compose activity or the Compose activity with material components. I am going to select the simple Jetpack Compose activity. Now you can name the project, select the location and hit the OK button. So for the name, I'm just going to name it test. And let's keep the location as it is and hit finish. Now that we have created out our starting project, we'll see a few things that are different from XML views. Here, since we create the UI inside of the views themselves, we have composable functions. Composable functions, for those coming from the React world, might already be aware of. Similar to React components, Jetpack Compose uses composables, which basically are just independent components which can be reused. Just like the setContent view function in activities with XML layouts, we have setContent function inside Jetpack Compose, which is a composable function in itself. That means composable functions can be called by other composable functions only. If you notice, we have a preview annotation attached with a composable function, which allows Jetpack Compose to preview the function component without deploying it to the app. Also, we have the option to split the screen here only as opposed to XML layouts. If we split the screen, we'll see that the preview of the function is shown right here, without even deploying it to the app. It is a fast way to preview the UI without building and deploying it to the actual emulator or a real device. We can even create our own functions to preview, so let's create one. Here I have created my own function, and in the default preview method, instead of the greeting function, I am calling out my function to get previewed onto the screen. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the video and for your time. So let's keep the video until this point, and in the next video, let's talk all about the basics of Jetpack Compose. Until then, keep contributing for humanity.